Welcome to Al Stocks. In this video, we're going to be talking about huge buy and sell orders from institutions regarding the Clover Health stock. As always, let's get straight to business. So already we see Goldman Sachs, it's a big prominent business, and we see a put option. And a lot of investors might be scared of this or like, what do they know that I don't know? We're going to dive deep into specifically the relationship that Goldman Sachs has with Clover Health. And you see right off the bat, they have $6.7 million of shares for Clover Health. But we did see a put option, and that was placed on September 30th. We're hearing about it now. There's a delay for 640,000 shares, but you got to follow the math. So just follow me for a moment here. Back on December 31 of 2020, when it was Social Capital, the blank check company, they went ahead and purchased 11,000 shares. They learned about the company later on in March, and they were like, holy moly, this is a really good company. So they went ahead and purchased more shares. They increased their position by 2,700%. But then the short squeeze happened. wallstreetbets took it to hell. And then they're like, we got to get out of this stock. It's too volatile for us. So then they trimmed down the position by approximately half. But check this out. They put a put option on September 30th of 2021, but also on September 30th, they increased their position 427% from the latest short squeeze, which shows you that they're hedging towards the positive than the negative. Now you might be asking yourself, why are they getting a put option? Why? Because they're not retail investors like us. We could just hold. The only people that we have to answer to is our wives, right? So we don't really have to answer to anyone. But these Goldman Sachs business financial analysts, they have to answer to clients. And if clients don't know about investing and SEC, they pay people for that. So they want to make sure that the portfolio is always making money. So that explains the Goldman Sachs conundrum that we're facing. Now, the same thing here. We see HAP trading. We see a put option, 127,000 shares. So let's go here. So these people don't own any shares, but they do own calls and puts. And you can see here on September 30th, they did a put option. And you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. But then check this out. If you go back also on September 30th, they also purchased a call option for 200,000 shares. 200,000 shares, guys. So they're hedging more towards the call side than the put side, aka they're more bullish. Another component I want my subscribers and my community to focus on to is a massive order that BlackRock initiated. Now, BlackRock has always been a buyer of this stock, but there's something more interesting here. So let's go into BlackRock. They increased their share ownership by 57%. Right now have a current disclosed value of almost $26 million worth of Clover Health. Now let's break it down here. So on June 30th, they increased their position by 6%. Not too much, not too impressive. But on September 30th, that same month, a lot of companies you see are starting to see the value within this company, and they're more early adopters. So they increased their percentage by 57.5%. And you can see more than 1 million shares have been purchased by BlackRock. Again, a bullish scenario for Clover Health. Now I want to show and pay close attention to the negative Nancy's, the short sellers, the disgusting bunch, the ones that have manipulated the stock, made our wives very angry, questioning whether we know what we're doing with over 10 years worth of investment information. Now check this out. I'm speaking from experience here. So they've literally picked on Clover Health, but check this out, guys. Check this out. If you look at them here, you see something very interesting here. So back on June 30th, post short squeeze, picked on Clover Health, and they went ahead and they bought 380,000 shares of put options. But check this out. September 30th, when everyone realized that this company is going places, they went ahead and covered. Sadly, they got what they wanted. The share price decreased. They made money, right? They got what they wanted. So another LLC I want you to pay close attention to is the one in Chicago. You see a put and call option. So let's dig a little deeper here. So you can see they have a disclosed value of $1.1 million, right? So let's dig a little deeper. It's true. You do see they've had puts since March 31st. But if you compare their put options of 284,000 and compare it to the same date with their call options, they're more hedged towards the positive than negative side. It's a little bit even. They're hedging their bets. Now, if you look at June 30th, they went ahead and increased their put options by 262%, but also increased their call options on June 30th by 393%. Now, on September 30th, you see that they reduced their put positions more than they reduced their call positions, aka they're more hedging towards the positive side. Furthermore, on September 30th, they also increased their share position by 38%. Yes, yet again, another sign that Clover Health has more upside to follow. Now I want to shift gears and I want to talk about the fundamentals briefly, not too deep on the fundamentals. So we have Clover Health right now sitting at a market cap of $3.16 billion at a price of $7.18. They just recently released their Q3 of 2021 and they had a massive 152% year-over-year growth. This company has already made $1.2 billion in this year, and it's only trading 2.6x times the revenue. Now let's compare a company that a lot of retail investors might know about. So let's look at Palantir. Palantirians, right? So check this out. Palantir's growing at 35% year over year. But check this out. They only made $1.43 billion and they're trading at a massive 29x revenue multiple. I know I'm comparing apples and oranges here because there's other companies that create the investment thesis for Palantir. Look at Q3. They made $427 million. If you look at Q3 for Palantir, they made $392 million. Guys, Clover Health is making more than Palantir. As of right now, that might change. But this is sitting at a market cap of $42 billion when in reality, Clover Health is sitting at a market cap of $3.16 billion. I mean, guys, if this doesn't scream undervalued, I don't know. How can I show you and prove it to you? If you go ahead and look at, it's just a massive jump. Hopefully it'll be consistent as we grow in the company. The revenues are looking great. And one thing I want to pay close attention to is look at this quarter. Besides the 2021 Q2, I'm hoping that they will achieve net break even by the end of 2022, and by 2023, they will become profitable. Now, a lot of other analysts, I think Bank of America said that they're not going to become profitable until 2024, and I hope they're dead wrong. Another thing I want you guys to pay close attention to is, guys, listen, on the current quarter here, these are the analyst estimates. Bullish analysts out there said that this company is going to make $418 million Q3, but check this out. They didn't make a $418 million. They made $427 million. They beat the highest estimate by a lot. Another thing I want you to pay close attention to is just look at the current year. This is basically saying how much is Clover Health going to be making in a year. And just look at this. Their low estimate is $1.44 billion and their high estimate is $1.45 billion. They're easily going to get that. These numbers are not that far from each other. But look at 2022. Look at how far these numbers are. 2.26 billion, 2.92 billion for the high estimate. Guys, that's why I'm telling you, the golden years for Clover Health is 2022. When you have analysts targeting a very small number, like a blot and whisker plot that isolates a specific section of how much a company is going to make, and all of a sudden in 2022, you see a wide range, you can tell that they're more bullish on the company in September 2022. I just don't believe this, that all these analysts, these downgrades, all these things, this is all BS. Another company that Chamath owns is SoFi. But again, I think it's trading more higher than this company. And it's just like, I don't understand how these people can rank these companies at these high evaluations. They're going to end up losing the shirts off of their backs. Furthermore, last but not least, I want you guys to pay close attention to the consumer price index. This tracks the inflation that we've seen. That's why the market has been down yesterday. And the day before, President Biden wants to replace Jerome Powell, searching for jobs. Now, again, I don't know what President Biden's thinking, but obviously the stock market is not his interest right now. But one thing I want you to see is that we had a whopping 6.2% increase in inflation. Now, what that tells me is that if you got a 5% raise, you're still losing money. You have to have at least more than a 6.2% raise this year in order to be making money and not get wage adjusted inflation. Just look at energy. We are getting destroyed by energy, by OPEC and all these outside forces, and the closing of Keystone pipelines and all these things. I'm not going to get into all this, but one thing, since we're talking about Clover Health, look at medical care and commodities. We are down on that. So I don't think Clover Health is affected as much as Coursera with their supply chain issues, Apple, PayPal, and all these supply chain issues. That's why I believe healthcare insurance is a safe haven against inflation and economic downturn, because everyone needs to take care of their health. If you made it this far, consider subscribing, liking, and turning on all notifications. I appreciate all the love and support and would be honored to see what are your thoughts on my analysis in the comment sections below. Until next time.